What's up everybody, my name is Cubits, and welcome to this Fallout 4 mod spotlight for the Mercenary Armor Pack. Now the timing on this is a little bit funny because just a couple days ago I released a video featuring all of my favorite outfits for Fallout 4, and this mod comes out only a couple days afterwards. And what else is particularly funny is that this particular mod that I'm featuring right now might actually be my favorite armor mod of all time. Now that might seem like a little bit of an extreme thing to say, seeing as this mod's only been out for about a day and a half. But one thing that I think that all of you will be pretty excited about is if you've ever heard of the armor set The Rebel. Lord of War made that, and Lord of War is back. They are back with this particular mod, which includes an updated version of the Rebel, along with a bunch of other armor designs. As the mod title describes, most of these armors are designed for a mercenary-like character, but in my opinion, many of them could be any kind of survivalist, explorer, adventurer type character, really. However, it also includes a variety of more high-tech outfits. There aren't too many of them, and they aren't exactly my style, but they're extremely well made nonetheless. Just like the other outfits, there's a lot of attention to detail, and just like the other armors, there's a lot of mixing and matching that you're able to do. Included is the base outfit, helmets, and jetpacks. So if you're also into cybernetics, then there's something in there for you as well. And there are tons of things that I absolutely adore about this particular pack of armors, so allow me to try to explain that as best as I can. So one of the things that you're going to notice right away is that the model design is really superb. There's so much detail that's put into these. I mean, even when you zoom in to look at the shoes, the laces themselves are modeled. So already there's a lot of attention to detail here. But not only that, most armors that are added into Fallout are usually just variants of vanilla. So people might touch up on textures, they might add a couple things together, maybe a jacket from the vanilla game added with a base outfit from the vanilla game. But just about everything in this mod is originally created. What that means is obviously the quality is higher, but not only that, it gives you something that's actually different. The detail in creating something original adds a lot of diversity to the types of armors that you can equip, which in my opinion makes an armor set just kind of better. Usually you're downloading mods because you want to look at something a little bit different, and this absolutely provides that for you. Going into the textures, obviously as you can see, they're extremely high quality, and the color scheme really fits in with the rest of Fallout 4's default clothing. The armors are also part of that brownish palette that you see throughout the game. And I think that the post-apocalyptic design is just about the right balance here. You have clothing that looks worn and dirty, but it's not completely disgusting. And generally, that's about all I have to say about the textures. There's only so much you can say. They look really good. They fit in super well with a design of Fallout otherwise. And so now we move on to talking about the armor overall. One of the extremely cool things about this mod is that it lets you mix and match quite a lot. So as you can see on these different characters, some of them have heavier jackets, some of them have lighter jackets, some of them have hats or hoods or masks, and there's even a backpack that comes in with it. Just about all this stuff is optional, so you can choose whether or not you want your character to be really heavily outfitted, or you're going for something a little bit lighter. Maybe you just really like the backpack design and you just want to go with that, or maybe you just want the gas mask or the hat. So regardless of your preference, you're able to mix and match quite a bit. And so now we talk about my feelings about the overall design of these clothes. So obviously, like I said before, it's for that kind of mercenary explorer, and in my opinion, this is just for me one of the most perfect types of armor designs that you can have in the game. It's a step up from what a regular civilian would be wearing, and yet at the same time, it's not completely insane. You don't have rockets sticking out of your arms. It's a really perfect medium that I generally like to have for my characters. And speaking of practicality, I generally like it when armor sets look pretty similar for women and men. Nothing wrong with showing off the bootay, but when I'm trying to go through a normal playthrough, it just feels sort of out of place to me. And although I can take a little bit of that, when I'm really sitting down to play hours of Fallout, I like my characters to look like real hardened warriors. So basically what I'm trying to say is that all of this stuff is just 100% my style. So how do you get the armors? So one of the really cool things is that you can get it in 3 different ways. So obviously you can craft it, but you can also buy it from vendors, and it's added into the leveled lists, which means that you can find it as loot throughout the world. I personally really like it whenever mod makers do this, because sometimes, and especially when you have big mod packs that offer you a variety of different armors, part of the fun is kind of going through the world and finding them as you go. Maybe not necessarily using them at the beginning of the game, but once you get into the mid-game, incorporating them into your character. So whether or not you want to craft it, console command it, find it on a vendor, find it as loot, it's really easy to get it. Plus, another one of the upsides of it being readily available throughout the world is that a lot of the NPCs, particularly gunners, will have a lot more diverse clothing. It makes encountering enemies a lot more interesting, and adds a little spice to the amount of loot that you're gonna get. Alright, so that's about all I have to say about this. Seriously, if you're interested in armor mods at all, this is probably the one that I might recommend the most. It's just so incredibly well made, and especially even if you don't want your character to wear it, it's worthwhile just because it'll exist within the world. It's super lore friendly, and yet at the same time pretty original. And guys, remember, if you enjoy this mod, endorse it on the mod page. It's a really nice way to show a mod author that you appreciate what they're making. And I selfishly just want you to do that because I want to see more armor sets like this. And that'll do it, guys. If you want to check out the video I mentioned earlier about my favorite armors, excluding these, you can click on screen right now. Or you can check out my video on survivalist go bags. This is a video that features a bunch of different lore-friendly backpacks. Really high quality stuff, I definitely recommend it. And if you want to see more mod spotlights, please do subscribe and like the video. I'll be coming out with more mod spotlights and let's plays for both Skyrim and Fallout, so buckle up and stay tuned. I will see you guys in the next video.